I want a stress-free life. I wish I could just run away from everything. Then, then I wouldn't have to work so hard at having inner peace. I could just leave it all behind me. No more walls of protection, no avoiding certain people or situations. I would have a stress-free life. And if this is how you think, stay with me. This is Inner Peace Place. I'm Karen, and today we're going to talk about why that thinking process just can't work. And the main reason is that chaos goes with you wherever you run to. This other than staying in a state of meditation, perhaps, but physically trying to always run away from anything that pushes your buttons a little bit. That isn't going to create a stress-free life. And the reason is that we have a habit of finding those energies and playing with them in our head. We have the habit of resonating with something that doesn't bring us joy because part of us has fun doing it. You may think, oh, not me. Well, you have to have that in your DNA or you wouldn't have issues with this. So get over the fact that I don't play with downward spiral thoughts in my head. Just don't even think about that. What we want to say is, I am now choosing not to entertain my personality self, my ego, with those thoughts. I'm going to step into a realm where I can discriminate better. Discrimination is the key skill to develop. Discriminating the energies you want to play with in your head. Discriminating the situations that you want to engage in. You see, there is no such thing as inner peace that maintains itself without work. The ego, the personality self, your old habits sneak in because they want to be heard. So a stress-free life isn't really an option, in my opinion. What happens is this. It doesn't maintain up here. There's no way for us as humans. The human condition doesn't allow that. So we want to say, I understand that a successful life, in my opinion of needing a path of inner peace, might include some stress. It would be okay, maybe, if I had some stress. So maybe we're working on the definition of a stress-free life. Maybe we're working on the fact that stress-free shouldn't be our goal. Take a picture of your life as it is now and look at the overall theme. If it's embedded in chaos and downward flowing energies and the majority of your time is spent in stress, that would be a life to look at. To try to skew it into a more upward flowing life. Where are your toes pointed? Are they pointed towards joy or the stress in your life? Where are your thoughts creeping towards? The major direction of your life needs to be inner peace and be respectful of the chaos that creeps in periodically. As part of the normal beingness on this earth plane. We're raised in an environment that is fraught with opportunity for us to be discriminating. we can learn this skill. When you first notice a downward flowing energy or a thought coming in that isn't uplifting and it doesn't seem to have your toes pointed in the direction that you've chosen to go, you have the opportunity to say, oh wow, look, this is a baby energy right now. It's tiny. I can manage that. If I were to allow that energy to get big, it's more difficult to work with. So when something is creeping up, that's when you want to nip it in the bud. We discussed that once before. So my goal isn't to obtain some sort of an imaginary stress-free life. My goal is to learn to discriminate the energies that I'm allowing to be in my environment and or in my thought processes. I regroup, take a deep breath, renew my connection with the all that is, and say, is this where I want to be? Is this the direction I want to go at this moment? How do I manage the energies that are in my life in such a way that the major direction is towards peace? That's what we want. Don't feel that you're a failure just because you have days that you're downward spiraling. I had one the other day. I was anxious. I felt kind of prickly. And I didn't even feel grounded. I just felt really wishy-washy. And I didn't realize I was feeling that way until I sat down and went, wait a minute, I don't like the way I feel. Then I calmed down, found the energies that I did enjoy, and I started focusing on those. And within just a few minutes, I felt peaceful again. And if I hadn't been sensitive or discriminating to my feelings on the inside, I probably would have allowed that to escalate to a point of being reactive about it. Maybe arguing with people in my, circle, or creating something that was just not good. But I didn't. I actually respected that negative energy. Now, if I step into somebody else's negative energy, I can respect that as well, because it's important to them, as this must have been important to me. So all I'm going to do is say, I no longer want to point my toes in that direction. I am not going to run away from stress. I'm simply going to look at it respectfully and say, this isn't where I want to be. This isn't where I want to sit. I want to focus on my boundaries, set my boundaries, make sure that they are healthy boundaries. That way, when something starts to creep in, like it did the other day, I'm aware of it quickly. Boundaries are very important, especially if you live in an environment where there's a lot of people around you, a lot of situations coming up that you didn't choose, they just kind of came into your environment. Look at these opportunities as a growth instead of trying to create this imaginary stress-free life. Because what happens is when you're not successful at it, you belittle yourself. And when your goal was really not obtainable in the environment that we live in as humans. Balance what's going on in your life. No one is judging you. You can sit with what happens when you're in a state of chaos. Sit with it and go, gee, how could I have managed that better? How could I have been discriminating with those energies and seen it creeping into inside of me, into my awareness, into the way I feel? How can I know when that's coming into my life so that I can manage that better? I want to manage the stress in my life, not eliminate it. It just isn't going to be. And by setting a stress-free life as a goal, you're creating more stress. So my goal is a life filled with inner peace and joy, and managing what is coming and going at all times, what I offer to people and what I'm willing to receive from people. Being happy at any moment is something to stop and notice. Give thanks for. Be in a state of awe. Look how happy I am. This is awesome. I am doing this activity. I'm speaking to this individual, and I'm happy on the inside. Make those energies bigger. Play with those energies to create a more stress-free life. Love and light to you and your path, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.